Hello, hello, hello. I am your host OCL, and welcome back to One Century Later. Today we'll be taking a look at all events from April 18th to April 24th, 1926. As with last week, all of my sources are in the description down below. Sunday, April 18th, 1926. The first radio station in Poland began operating when Polski Radio Program 1 of Warsaw began broadcasting at 5 p.m. local time. Also on this day, elections were held in Monaco for the 12 members of the National Council of the Principality of Monaco. Ballots were cast by the 30 members of the Electoral College, with August Setimo receiving the most votes at 26. Monday, April 19th, 1926. The Royal Society of Thailand was created by royal decree of King Prahajipok of Siam, modern-day Thailand. The society was created to combine the existing agencies in charge of national museums, libraries, historical sites, and engineering works into a one governmental organization in an attempt to make Siam a learned society such as those found in Western countries. Also on this day, the Cabotage Act number 815 was passed by the Republic of Turkey, preventing all foreign-flagged ships from operating between multiple Turkish ports along the Turkish coast. The act took effect on July 1st, 1926, and is still in effect today. Tuesday, April 20th, 1926. After Zhang Zhulin captured Beijing, the acting president of the Republic of China, Duan Qiri, exiled himself to Tianjin, and Hu Weide took over as acting president. Wednesday, April 21st, 1926. On this day, the 8th of Shawwal, 1344 in the Islamic calendar, King Abdulaziz ibn Saud, the king of Hijaz and Najd, gave permission for the destruction of the al-Baqi cemetery in Medina. The cemetery was considered a holy site for Shia Muslims and contained several of the bodies of Muhammad's relatives. Also on this day, shortly after returning from his visit to Libya, Benito Mussolini, the Italian Prime Minister, the traditional anniversary of the founding of the Roman Empire 2,679 years prior, to be the first annual colonial day celebrating all Italian colonies past and present to which the Italian might was founded. And lastly on this day, Elizabeth II was born to the Duke and Duchess of York. She was born third in line to the throne of England, following her uncle and her father. Queen Elizabeth would reign as Queen of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand from 1952 to 2022. She was the longest reigning monarch in British history and second only to King Louis XIV of France in modern history. Thursday, April 22nd, 1926. Persia and Turkey signed a friendship and security treaty in Tehran, Persia, pledging non-aggression towards one another and joint actions should third parties threaten the security of either nation. Also on this day, the United Kingdom and the Republic of the United States of Brazil signed a border treaty ending the border dispute between British Guiana and Brazil. The treaty was signed in London and set the border as the Arapopo River and the Contigo River. Friday, April 23rd, 1926. Germany reported an export surplus of 278 million Reichsmarks in favor of Germany, indicating that the country's financial situation was stabilizing and that Germany's ability to make DAWs payments was improving. The trade surplus came from metalwares, coal, and leather. Saturday, April 24th, 1926. Sunjong, the Emperor of Korea from 1907 to 1910, when Korea was annexed into the Japanese Empire, passed away at the age of 52. After 1910, Sunjong lived as King Yi of Changdeokgung Palace. Following his death, his brother Yi Un became the new king of Changdeokgung until the fall of the Japanese Empire following World War II. Also on this day, Germany and the Soviet Union signed the Treaty of Berlin, extending the peaceful relationships from the 1922 Treaty of Rapallo, and each nation pledged to remain neutral in the event of an attack on the other or a boycott on the other from a third party for the next 5 years. And lastly, the International Convention relative to motor traffic was signed by 22 nations in Paris, France, to create unified traffic laws among the signatory nations and to establish the international driving permit. And that is all. See you next week for all events from Sunday, April 25th, 1926 to Saturday, May 1st, 1926. Thank you for watching, and see you next week.